Here we are live from Dr. Young's little recording studio here, and we're going to talk about the alkaline diet for athletes. And for those of you who don't know, Dr. Robert Young, you've written how many books at this point?
Well, we're 52, 27 different languages, but my main popular books are the pH Miracle series.
Okay.
Yeah, I've sold probably 4.5 million of pH Miracle.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. That's awesome. And I know myself personally that when I follow your advice, I just feel better. I just...
I feel better when I follow my advice. So
and
it's mutual.
Have more energy, quicker thinking on my feet, and just it's easier to get to the gym and work out. And then if there's times when I'm just feeling like crap and I get like a little headache or something, or whatever the case may be, I'm feeling less than very good, I realize that I have not been following your advice, basically. And for me, it's just like, it makes so much sense. And I just think that more people need to know about this, especially people that are going to the gym, people that are working out. And it seems to me that there's performance benefits to be derived from this type of diet, eating more greens, drinking the alkaline water, using the right supplements, and just eating the right foods overall. And so, have you worked with any athletes? And
well, one athlete you probably know, you might know of, Stu Middleman, who at the age of 50 ran across the United States, started in San Diego, and finished in New York City after 57 days, running 2 marathons straight every day for 57 days. And that took a tremendous amount of life force energy, and he had to be in a certain level of fitness in order to do that. Probably the most dramatic athletes that I've ever trained is the biathletes for the Olympic team. I had them running up from approximately 3 miles, starting at 5,000 feet and going up to 12,000 feet. And they were actually hydrating about 18 to 22 liters a day of fluid. Just unbelievable athletes. If you're familiar with the biathletes, they have to, they're cross country, and then they have to stop and fire at a target and then get up and go again. So a tremendous amount of endurance and focus that goes into that particular sport. The other is the West Point gymnastics team, and to be able to work with them and help them improve not only their performance, but also their downtime, because the amount of training that goes in with those types of athletes. Being an athlete myself, both amateur and professional, having played the Grand Prix circuit and having to train for years, I know what training's all about, and playing at the university level too, it just ingrained in me, even in my youth, that you have to be not only fit, but you have to be in good health. And so, focusing on what you eat, what you drink with your training is ultimately incredible. Working with professional athletes, both in the NBA and NFL, they have to be in their top shape. And of course, recovery time is very, very important. In that while you're training or after an event, to be able to recover from that particular level of acidosis is created through running a marathon or finishing a high-level gymnastic event. There's a lot of lactic acid buildup, and it takes recovery time. And we found that using an alkaline approach to mediate and buffer excess acidities and maintaining that alkaline design, the recovery times were shorter. The amount of level of endurance would increase, and strength would increase, endurance would increase, performances would improve through following a very specific alkaline lifestyle and diet.
That's pretty amazing right there. How about yourself personally? Do you feel like your fitness level, what is your fitness regimen like right now and at your age?
Well, I'll be 63 in March, but I really haven't slowed down much. My demands with my work are quite rigorous, because I do work with a lot of folks around the world with serious health challenges, but I enjoy working out on a daily basis. I mean, if I don't do it every day, I miss it. But a lot of the reasons I exercise is keep that forward movement going, keeping my circulation and elimination good, and sweating. Sweating is one of the most important things of exercise that can happen, because it's the way in which you can remove those metabolic and dietary acids out through the pores of the skin. And so every day, I'll be actively engaged in some sort of activity. Workout, I'll run the ranch, which is 3 miles, or I'll work an hour in the gym doing low impact cellular or rebounding. Sauna is a very passive form of exercise that I do on a daily basis. But I honestly believe if you don't take time to exercise, then you need to make time to die. So exercise has to be part of the overall program. If I was to kind of reverse some of the statements that have been made by some of the great athletes, I mean, I would put exercise right up there as one of the top 1 or 2 things that you need to do on a daily basis to stay fit. And there's a difference between fitness and health. So, you have to focus on both because you can be fit and unhealthy, or you can be healthy and unfit. So you combine those 2 powerful things together through proper nutrition and diet, good rest, low stress, and exercising daily. I mean, that's a very powerful formula.
That's pretty incredible that, someone at your age, most people I know, they don't exercise anymore. Like, I know some people that are starting to get up there in age, and they say that, I'm talking about 50s, and I know a couple different people that are 50 years old, and they say they used to run every day, but now they have aches and pains, and they can't do that anymore. And
well, a lot of that's because when the body doesn't eliminate the waste products through metabolism, the lactic acid, it has to go out into the connective tissue, which causes aches and pains and tissue breakdown. And you can avoid that through good hydration and circulation, which is the importance of drinking alkaline water, and then good elimination, which you should eliminate the bowel about 4 to 6 times a day. And if you have good hydration, good circulation, you're going to have good percolation and finally good elimination, and those are very, very important in order to manage and maintain your health with your fitness.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a question now that you've probably never been asked before, and that is, where do you get your protein? I'm sure you've been asked that before.
Well, as far as protein, I get my protein, about 70-80% of my protein, from the recycling of the body. The body's a great recycler. It uses resources that it's already had. So 70-80% of all the protein that the body needs is through the recycling of the breakdown of your body cells. The proteins, the carbohydrates, and the fats go into the bloodstream, and those products of cellular breakdown are used to rebuild new cells. And so 70-80% I get from my own body. The balance, which is very minimal, I get from hemp seeds, I get from avocados, great source of protein, 15% protein. Hemp is also a great source of protein. You get it from flax, but I get it from seeds, some nuts. I don't do a lot of nuts, but it's all plant-based. And of course, I'm not a big proponent of heavy protein. But I get it from all the different types of foods. Even broccoli is another good source of protein.
Okay, very interesting. My next question is basically for somebody who's like a real endurance athlete. You know what I mean? I know there's an example of Stu Middleman.
Like Stu Middleman, right?
Mm-hmm. Who ran that great distance. But it seems to be the belief out there that you need carbohydrates, you need sugar. You know what I mean? To fuel, like everyone says, the body runs on glucose. And
it doesn't
agree with that.
No, absolutely not. Glucose is a metabolic waste product of the body is electrical, not chemical. So the body is electrical and produces chemical waste products. So glucose is a chemical waste product of metabolism. So yes, it's an actual sign that your body's working, just like carbon monoxide is a sign that the car is running. But it doesn't mean you would go out and fill your car tank up with carbon monoxide. You fill it up with electrical energy that you derive from plants and from sunlight and from water. And that's why it's so important to eat live, raw green foods because those are the foods that are full of electrical potential. They're saturated with electrons, and that's what the body runs on. It's the spark of life, which is the electron.
So would it be safe to say that you get a lot of your what about fat metabolism? Like healthy fats, I know are a big part of
the body
program.
doesn't run on fats.
It doesn't run on fats either.
Oh, absolutely not. The body uses fat to build cellular membranes. The only reason I eat fat is to chelate acids, which is a great binder of acid, to provide as a lubricant, and also foundationally to build the membranes of all stem cells. Other than that, fat is useless. But it's definitely not a source for energy. The sources of energy are raw, live foods, both plant, vegetable, and fruit. And of course, my favorite fruits are cucumbers and avocados and peppers, and my favorite vegetables are broccoli and celery and parsley, and those are the kinds of things I eat on a daily basis. I mean, I live a plant-based raw diet, and most of it's purified or liquefied. I think it takes too much time. I'm always in a hurry. I don't have time to chew food, so I let the blender do it. So I let the blender's teeth do the chewing, and then I just swish it around in my mouth and mix it with the sodium bicarbonate that's being secreted from the salivary glands to alkalize that food, and then that food is transformed into stem cells in the crypts of the small intestine. That's the key. The key is liquefied alkaline food that can be built into embryonic cells in the small intestine.
You mentioned sodium bicarbonate there, and that just makes me think of, even reading in different textbooks how sodium bicarbonate has been used as a buffer, as almost like a supplement for athletes, and they ingest sodium bicarbonate, and their performance, if they can handle it, and it can be a little bit irritating, I guess, in high doses.